always go back to it. Do you understand? All right. So let's go right in point. So as I've said earlier, right, what we want to work on today is e-commerce website, right? E-commerce website is what we're going to develop today with React.js. So we're going to start from the very beginning. I'll be explaining concepts for you to understand. And I'll also tell you how you can build other websites too. So at the end of the day, we're going to realize a full working e-commerce website. All right, so that's our objectives in this video. Remember, if you have not subscribed to the channel, Temper Justice with Mercy, do so, right? It's very important to us. I think that's what keeps us going, right? Subscribe to the channel, share this live to your friends, right? They should guide. So, first off, let's start with the problem. What's e-commerce website? An e-commerce website is where you can buy anything and sell. Example is Jumia, right? Jumia is one. You can buy there. You can even sell there. And we also have Gigi. We have Amazon where they are selling things. You can order things there. You can buy there. Like an online marketplace. That's exactly what we are looking at, right? And that's just what we want to work on today, and it's with React. If you have not learned the React before, don't fear, right? Just stay with me. I'm going to explain every concept from the very beginning. And of course, I'm recording videos on React already. As from next month, you will have a full series of HTML to React published on this channel. So you can always come back to it. But for this video, all right. Guys, if you can hear me, use the comment section now. The comment section there. Drop your best emoji. Tell me you can hear me. Look the chat. Ask me a question there. I'm going to attend to you. All right. So how do we start this project? First of all, we're going to init the React app, right? So if you don't know about React app, I'm going to use this opportunity to explain the concept in the React app and how you're going to init React, what you need to do, right? Okay. So we are initting React app straight away as we are going. We're going to use Vite to init the React app. All right. Okay. So I'm bringing my work environment now for you to see. I have a folder down here I've created, right? This folder is where I want to do my work inside, right? That is basically where I want to do my work inside in this folder, right? And as I've also opened a terminal, right? You can also call it command prompt, where the folder is. The name of the folder is website live. So I want to create my e-commerce site inside there, inside this folder, right? So that's why I opened this terminal. So what you need to do to follow along with me, or when you're watching this video later, when you want to start, you need to create a folder where you want your project to be inside. Then open the folder with terminal. Make sure that the terminal is open where you created the folder, so we can create our project inside. Also, having said that, there are some basic things you need before you can work with me here. You're going to make sure that you have okay. All right. All right. So now I believe you can see my screen very well now. All right. So you're going to type node --version right away and hit on enter. If you see this version v20.19.0, that means node.js is installed on your system. But if you see something like node not recognized or not found, you know that node.js is not installed on your system. So what do you need to do? Once you see that Node.js is not installed on your system, the next thing that you basically need to do is to go to your browser, right? You head over to your browser right away and go and search for Node. You can do Node.js like so. Hit on enter. Once you hit on enter, you're going to see this very first one, node.js.org. You click on it, right? So you're going to get to the website, node.js official website. You can now see this get node.js. Then you click on it and download the node.js. After downloading, you're going to double click on it and install. That's just all. After you install, you can come back again. You can close this terminal and open it again. Then you type node --fashion as we type here. Then by then you're going to see the fashion that you have installed. All right, that is what you need to do to have this what I want to do work with you. All right. Okay, that's just the setup you need to do to follow along with me. Once you have done that, you are good. So we want to create our project, our React.js project, right? So Node is being used, is the core dependency we use to create a React project. That's why you need to have it, right? Okay, so right inside my terminal, I've told you that we want to use, we're going to create the node, the React project in our terminal. Right inside my terminal, I want to use Vite. What is Vite? So Vite is a fast and cleaner. There are two ways you can create React project. You can use npm create React app. You can use create React app, and you can use Vite. So Vite is a software that allows you to create a cleaner or scaffolded React.js project, and it is lightweighted and faster, right? Okay, so that's why we want to use Vite. So we will be using Vite to set up our e-commerce project because it is super faster and lightweighted compared to create React app. So we'll be using Vite, right? So that's just what we're going to do now. So for us to start creating the React app, you're going to type this command. Remember, you're going to open your command prompt. Look in the location where you want the project to be inside. So we're going to type npm create Vite, then at latest, because we want the latest version of Vite. We want to use the latest version of Vite to create the React app. So at latest, you're going to specify the name of your app, right? So I'm just going to call it Ecommerce. Ecommerce. Can add website to it. All right, e-commerce website. That is the name I want to call our project. All right. Okay. So what is npm? npm is Node Package Manager, and that was the very main reason why you need to install Node.js, right? That is what you use to create the React app. Okay. So once you type this command, ensure that you have internet connection on your system. Then you're going to hit on enter. Then you're going to see some question. Create Vite at 7.1.2. That is the latest version of Vite that we're going to use to create this project. You can see that they ask you if you want to proceed. You can use Y. You can type Y. Just click on Y and hit on enter. Is going to proceed, right? Then you are now asked to select a framework you want to use. What framework? There are different frameworks. We have Vanilla, we have Vue, we have React, we have Preact, we have Lite, and we have so many of them. We want to work with React. So you're going to use the up and down arrow key in your keyboard to move up and down to select the framework you want to use. We initialize that React is a JavaScript framework, so it is a framework, right? So I'm selecting React. I'm going to hit on enter. They are now asking you to select a variance. The variance is like language, the main language. You can see TypeScript. You can see TypeScript plus SWC. You can see JavaScript. We want to work with JavaScript, right? So I'm going to click select JavaScript. You're still going to use the up and down arrow key to navigate to select the variance or the language you want to use. So I'm on JavaScript now. I'm going to hit on enter right away. So you can see that your project is created now. You can see created Vite with all this summary and a scaffolded project into the folder that we selected. And these are the commands we need to execute, right, to open this project, right? You're going to cd into the project's directory, right? So that's basically what you need. Now, if I again, that our folder structure again that we have before, all right? Now that you have seen the folder, now you can now see that we have the project inside called Ecommerce-website. Do you understand? So now if you double click it, you're going to see some files that Vite have created. So the instruction is we should change directory into this folder, project folder, the project folder name we just created. That you can hear me. All right, so we're going to change directory into the project folder as we said, then we open it in Visual Studio. That's just basically what we want to do now. All right, so I'm going with our terminal open straight away. With our terminal open now, I'm going to do cd. The commands are already there, right? So just cd e-commerce website. This is basically what we are talking about, right? That's just basically it. So you can just click on it and copy it if you want. You right click on it and copy it, right? And paste it here. Right click and paste, right? Let me clear the screen first. All right. So you hit on enter. Now currently you're on the website now. You can see that the path have changed. The path has basically changed to the e-commerce website. All right, guys. So that we are here now, we can just open our Visual Studio Code using the command code space dot, like so, code space dot here. All right. So this is our Visual Studio Code well open right away down here. And you can see that we have the project up down here, right? All right. We have the project here. This is the e-commerce website, e-commerce-website. So this is the scaffolded project that Vite opened for us. I'm just going to go this project structure for us, like so. So we're going to have understand what we are working with. All right, we can understand what we are working with, then we're going to proceed. All right, so now this public is where the logo is. Okay, I think it's a nice way to run it on the browser. So let's run the project first and see if it's running, right? Okay, so I'm going to open terminal. I'm not going to use this run. I'm going to click on terminal, right? New terminal. This terminal will come up right away, like what we are typing. Npm run div is what we are typing. So we're just going to hit on enter right away. Okay, we got Vite not found. All right. There's one more thing we need to do. If you check that command on the terminal when we were creating that project, you will see that you have successfully created the project. The next thing you should do is to run npm install before you run npm run div. That's just basically what we need to do. So we can do it here. Npm install. So all right. This is where we did npm install on the terminal on the VS Code. So this is trying to install all the dependencies. And I said, if your network is fast, this will install very faster, right? Okay. While we are waiting for this to install successfully, I'm going to explain the whole of this folder structure for us to understand, so we can understand better. All right. So what is public all about? Public is where you have static files. Like if you check, you're going to see some, you're going to see Vite.svg. This is like Vite local, where it is. Like images, you have public static files, like images, CSS files, and all that. They all go here. Then if you check, you're going to see that we have SRC folder. This SRC folder have assets folder inside. It is also where you can put your static files like images, anywhere you want to put it. But when we start, you're going to see the difference between putting your static file in public folder and inside in the SRC, right? So this particular one is the image, is for the image or logo of the React.js. That's why you have React.svg. All right. So same way we have app.css. This is a global CSS style sheet that is just created to style the roots of the project and every other thing. Then we have app.jsx. This is the entry app level component of the React applications. I'm going to explain this better as we continue, right? Okay. So this is index.css. If you notice, we have two CSS files. We have app.css and the index.css. Index.css is also the root level style sheet, right? You're going to understand how we use this as we continue in this series. And we have the main.jsx. The main.jsx is actually the entry point of the React app, right? I'm going to explain that in details when we go in. Then we have the git ignore. Some files we don't want to push to version control system like GitHub are being exempted here. All right, you will understand this better when we want to push the code. And we have the ES links. This is the configurations of ES linked to help align your code well. And we have the only one index.html file that we have with a div with ID roots here, where all the contents of the React project are being injected. Also, we have package.json file, which track all the dependencies, both the div dependencies and the real dependencies of the application are here. If you look inside, you're going to see that we have the React 19.1.1. Then we also have React DOM 19.1.1, right? Okay. Okay. So that's right. Then this is the name of our project. If you look down very well, you can see that no matching fashion of this plugin. In most cases, you or one of your dependencies are requesting, okay, that, okay, doesn't exist. Okay, so we are having issues to install this, right? Okay, so I'm just going to look at this and know why it's like that. So after which, let me try running it again. All right, that's npm install. That's what we are running. So let's have a look at this. So let me carefully debug this, guys. Don't feel bad that you never even start. You have started seeing errors. That's how programming is naturally, right? Okay. So we're going to find a way to fix this now so we can proceed. All right. All right, guys. So I was explaining this concept right away. Okay. Successfully, well, the packages are now installed. So I guess it was network issues that causes that, right? Once it's successfully installed, you're going to see 152 packages and audited 153 packages in 12 seconds. So 32 packages are looking for funding. So it will give you the details of what that are installed. And definitely you're going to see this folder called node_modules, right? So we have successfully installed this. Okay, I was explaining this. This is a README file that you can explain your code, right? You understand this later, and this is the Vite configurations. All right, guys. So having said this, now we can proceed to running this project to view it in the browser, what we have got, whether it's running well. I just cleared my browser now. So I just want to run the project with npm run dev, like so. So I'll hit on enter. Once you see local http this URL, know that your project is running successfully well. That is what it means. So we're going to open this on the browser, or you just right click, you just hold on control and click this link. It will open with your default browser. So I'm copying this. All right, copy this. All right, let me check out my browser and ensure that it's open, and let's open it and have a look at this, our project, and how it looks like. All right, guys. All right, guys, so I just opened my browser right away. I'm pasting the URL down there. So I'll just hit on enter. Let's have a look at our project. All right, congratulations, guys. We have successfully set up our first React project, and it's that simple. All right, it's that simple. All right, so if you click on this counter now, you're going to see that the counter is counting. So the more you click, the more it counts. It shows that our React project, React Vite project, has successfully opened. So these are all the logos of Vite and that of React. All right, guys. So we are all good. We have successfully set up the project, and it's all good. So, guys, now we want to go into the real business. I want to explain to you how React project works, right? So you will know how it works and where it starts running. That's basically what I want to talk about today, guys. Remember to like this video I didn't see much likes so that it will be shared to plenty people. And remember, if you have not subscribed to our channel, temper justice with mercy, and subscribe to our channel. Once you subscribe, enable the bell icon, so once video is published, you will get the notification. All right, you will just be the first person to get the notification. So let's go back to our code straight away. Let's start the configurations and the workings. All right, guys, so let me explain in details what each folder does and how React project works. All right, as you zoom my screen, okay, that's right. I'm going to just do that. I will zoom my screen now. If you are using phone, just do well to rotate your phone so that you can also see very clear, right? But if you are using system, that's supposed to be clear for you, but I'll still zoom in more so you can see very well. Okay, so now we have node_modules. This particular folder is used to track all the dependencies. What I mean by dependencies, the library you will install, the one you have installed and the one you will install later that your project depends on to run. Example, React. If you look very well down, you're going to see that you see a React folder. Let's check down. React folder. It's supposed to be down. All right. So you can see React folder here, right? So that means the React you install, npm create React app, has a folder inside here. So it tracks it inside here. Every other dependency we will install in future will be inside this node modules. If you mistakenly delete this module, you can get it back, right? I'm going to show you that later. I've said that this public is where you put your static files like logos and images, right? Okay, and this particular folder we work on, this is basically where we'll be doing most of our works, right, inside, and you're just going to see it right away as we just proceed like this. Okay, so inside the src folder, you can see asset is still where you can put your static files like images, and we have app.css. This is a global css style sheet. Same way here. This is app.jsx, the app level components of this React project, and this is another css style sheet, main.jsx. All right. So how does React works? How does it compile? If you have attended my class in lecture, physical lectures, I've already explained this, that React has only one HTML file, which is this, only one HTML file. No matter how big the project you're working on will be, is going to have one HTML file, meaning that a traditional website using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript normally have a lot of HTML files, such that once you make a request to the server, it will pull everything, including all the images in the static, CSS file, JavaScript, and so on, to the browser. So if you want to navigate again to About Us page on traditional website, it will still do the same thing, send another request to pull all the content in that web server to the web browser before it can load. The problem is that it makes the loading time of the website to be long. You see some website will load for a very long time, right? Even when you have internet, right? So that is the problem of a traditional website, but React does not do that. That is why it has only one HTML file. At the first load of the web page, it will pull all the content to the browser. If you want to navigate to About Us page, it will just inject it from the browser. Do you understand? It will not send a request again to the server to pull the content again, thereby making the website very fast, right? Loading time will be very, very fast, right? Okay. So that is the concept. So once you visit a site like this, our React project that we just launched, once you just load it, it will load this one HTML page to the browser. Once it loads, if you check very well down here, you will see that we have script type module, then it's referencing main.jsx, and this is the main.jsx. This one is the main.jsx, right? Okay, so, and if you check very well too, you're going to see that it has a div, right? A div semantic tags with an ID of root. Do you understand? Okay, so this particular div is where all the website contents go to: about us, contact us page, login page, admin dashboard, user dashboard, super user dashboard. Just everything on the website goes here, right? That is just the idea through injection. So once this page load, it's going to load this particular main.jsx, right? So what is the main.jsx doing? The main.jsx is a JavaScript module that gets element by ID, root. And the root is getting is referring to this particular div, right? Remember I said that this is where all the content are displayed, right? So it's getting this div by ID. Once it has gotten the div by ID, it calls on render. What does render do? Render is going to render any content, right, that is append to it. And the render is calling app.jsx. This app, if you check this app now, look at it, is referring to app.jsx, and just look at it here. App.jsx is a JavaScript function that have a mixture of HTML on it. That's basically what it does, right? Okay, and you remember I said that app.jsx is the app level component of the application, right? That therefore means that everything you do on your website, about us page, contact us, login, registration, user dashboard, must in one way or the other be nested or append to the app.jsx before it will be rendered on this HTML page. That's just basically the logic, right? I believe you get me right. Okay, so if you don't understand this or you have a kind of confusion, I'm still looking at the chat section there. You can drop your chat. I'll be replying you as we are going. All right, guys. So that's just basically how React works. So if you load your React app, this HTML will load. Once the HTML load, it's going to call this main.jsx, which is this. The main.jsx will get elements, the element by ID, which is this div. Once it gets it, it's going to render every other page that is nested on the app.jsx on the DOM that is inside the div. So app.jsx is basically this one, the app level component of React, right? It returns HTML as a template, basically. All right, I believe we have established that fact and it's clear. So we'll be picking up from there while we continue. All right, guys. So having said that, we are good. Remember, we are working on e-commerce website. So I just want to use this opportunity to explain how this works, because the earlier you understand the flow of execution, the better you get what we are doing now here. All right, guys. So having said this and is clear, we want to go straight to what we're going to do today, the e-commerce website setup. That's just what we want to do now. So there are some things that we don't need, of course. You see how the website is, like so. It's just the template. We don't need it. So we just need to do away with what we don't need, and we start creating our own, right? So let's just go straight there and remove this. Okay. So on the code, I'm going to remove the whole of this. Okay. Before I remove this, what is JSX? JSX is the combination of HTML and JavaScript. If you check this, this is purely JavaScript function, right? That returns an HTML inside. That's what we call JSX. JSX stands for JavaScript extension. That is it. It's a way of writing JavaScript directly inside HTML. That's just what we call JSX. So you don't bother. You're going to understand as we go. All right. So I'm going to remove all these things. I'm just going to remove the whole of this because I don't need it again. All right, so we'll just be left with this return, this open parenthesis. I'll remove this. All right, so I'm going to remain only one index, only one CSS file, which is index.css file, because this is app.css file. This app.css file, why it's global is that it is being attached to the head of the index.html. That is why it's global. So any style you put here is going to be all the pages in your website will inherit it. And that is why it is called root CSS, root level CSS, although. So I'm going to delete this. Remember, this app.jsx level is being called somewhere. All right, this is where it is called, while index.css is called on the index. All right, let me get where the index is called. I think it's in the app. This is app. Okay, this is where it's called on the main.jsx, right? This is where we have the index.css. So I'm going to leave the index.css right away here while I delete the app.css. I don't need that. All right, so I'll just delete it. Then remember, once you delete it, you're just going to move around wherever it is being imported. I'm going to remove it out here. I'm going to check index. Once you remove this thing, let me show you what will happen. If you check your browser, you're going to see that you have mighty errors. So once you see this, do not fear, right? Just check where the app.css was called and remove them, then the error will go. So let's check the okay, it's not here. So next place, app. Okay, it has been removed. Okay, we again. Let's check out. Okay. All right, let's check out where it is. App this, one after the other. It's not here. All right. And here. Is it here? App dot. It's not here. So let's check here. Do we have it here? It's not here. Okay. We again, basically, do we have it? Okay. Where do we have it again? Index.js. Do we have any index.js? All right. I don't think we have it any other place again. All right. Okay. So since we don't have it anywhere again, let's try. I want to stop the project and run it again with npm run div. Let's see if we are having these errors again. Okay, I think we're still having errors. Okay, it's the return this time that is having error. So with this return, this is what is returning errors for us, right? So I'm just going to put one div inside. Div. All right. All right. So let me stop this again and run it and see what we are having down there. All right. By now we're supposed to be okay. So this is what we have on the browser. We are having an empty screen with nothing. Remember why it's black is because the index.css style is still applied to it, right? Why it's black is because this index.css file is still being attached to it right away. So I'll just clear it off, everything. All right. If I clear everything off, this is what we're going to have, right? A plain white page. All right. So let's go back to the code. Remember, we are doing setup for this project now. So I'll just leave this. Next thing I don't need this logo. Vite logo and the React logo, I don't need them, right? So I'm removing them, okay? So this is just what we have now, right? So we have our setup ready. So if you go into the asset folder too, you're going to see that React.svg, right? I don't need it. So I can basically delete it as well. So I delete it. All right. So throw me error that the file cannot open. The same way here, I want to delete it as well. For the fights, they are local as well. All right. So now there's nothing here and there's nothing here. So guys, we are all good to start. Okay. All right. So now what do we have to do now? What basically we have to do, we have cleared everywhere. This is the app level component of the React, and this is the index.css file. Nothing is there, and this is main.css file. This is what we have, and this is the only one HTML file. So I can rename the title here to e-commerce website. E-commerce, all right, website. All right, so I have my title there, and it's okay now. So now what do I need to do to start the project? It's just to set up the project. Remember I said that everything in React or in React is seen as a component. The nav bar, the sidebar, the footer, the cart, the listing cards and all that, right? So it's a component. So guys, now I'm going to set up the structure of that project right away. Okay, so inside the SRC folder, like you see, so I'm going to create another folder called component. Okay. All right, component. This component is actually the component that we going to put on our website, like the nav bar, footer, the sidebar, and many other stuff, right? Okay. Okay, I should zoom in. All right. I think I've done that already. Okay, so now inside the components, I'm going to create the files I need. First file I need is navbar. Remember, when you are creating components, you start with capital letter. I'm going to use .jsx. If you check, you can use .js, it will work. If you use .jsx, it will give you the capability to create for HTML auto-completion right inside the site, right? That is just the differences. So I like using .jsx. So I'm creating navbar.jsx. Then what else do I need? I need footer.jsx. .jsx, like so. Remember, is e-commerce website. We're going to have the navbar, and we're going to have something like hero section, or maybe should we call it artifact, something like that, right? So I'm going to create another file. I'm going to call it hero section. Hero section.jsx, or let me call it hero section.jsx. All right, that's right. So basically, I'm going to display product. Do you understand, right? And I'm working my way to make use of what we call reusable components. I will explain it later. So I'm going to call on product list.jsx. All right, guys. So this is basically where I want to stop for now. All right. So guys, I'll just show you the setup. We are already 1 hour now, and I promise you guys that will not take so much time. So you're going to do other stuff. So this is 9 o'clock. Even though we did not finish today, we can ship the distance till other time. But I just want you to master this. All right. So I'll be working with Bootstrap, right? There are two ways you can use Bootstrap in React. Either you install it or you use the CDN. So for today, we're going to use the CDN, but the best way to use Bootstrap is to actually install it and use it as a component. If you are using CDN, that means you need to have network on your system before it's going to load. So we're going to start with the CDN today. So let me just quickly, I'm going to link up Bootstrap. How do we link up Bootstrap? You can basically link up Bootstrap on this one index file and it will go through. So let's get Bootstrap down here, right? Okay, so I'm just going to type Bootstrap, okay, Bootstrap 5 precisely, that's what I'm searching for. If you don't know what is Bootstrap, on this our channel we have a Bootstrap video that can help you, so you can check out the channel for the Bootstrap video and follow along. So you know Bootstrap is used for responsive design, right? Okay, so if you follow along with the Bootstrap video, it will be easier for you to understand what we are doing here. So check out the channel, you're going to see. So once you open that Bootstrap now, we want to link up Bootstrap, we want to get the Bootstrap CDN, right? So basically this is it, right? This is the CDN, this is what you need to link up, all right? These are what you need to link up. You need to link up the CSS and you need to link up the JavaScript bundle, right? These are what you need to link up. So I'm just going to copy this, right? I just copy that. Then I'm going to go back to my code, right? On the head, the CSS have to be on the head of the code. So before my title, I'm going to paste it here. So that's the Bootstrap, paste it very well. So Bootstrap is linked now, this one. So I'm going to go back to the web again and take the JavaScript, right? I just click on copy here. Then I'm going to go back to my code to paste it. The CSS have to be pasted down the end before the closing body tag. So that is it, right? Okay, I just pasted it and this is all. We have linked it. So that's all. So let's test it whether that Bootstrap is linked, right? So in the app.jsx, the app level component, I can have a paragraph tag. All right? I can just have p dot, I want to specify the background bg dash danger. All right, I want to test if this is linked. I need paragraph tag p. All right, all right. All right, so you're going to have a class to specify in React. You cannot call class like this thing now. It's not going to work. Rather, you call it class name, right? Because a class is a preserved word in React, right? So I can call it BG danger, like so. So I can testing Bootstrap. All right, so like so, let's check out the browser and see if we'll have it in place. All right, you can see testing Bootstrap with a background of red. You can see this. So that means the Bootstrap has been linked successfully. So we can proceed. All right, so guys, that is how to link Bootstrap very fast using CDN. Now that we are done, I want us to quickly set up the nav bar, then we append it, then we can call it a D from there, all right? So that in the next lecture, we'll continue from there. Okay, let's go back to the Bootstrap. All right, let's go back to the Bootstrap straight away. So in the Bootstrap, just scroll down that Bootstrap website. You know, we want to use Bootstrap so we can be fast, right? In the Bootstrap, go to customization, just a layout. Okay, we are looking at, we want to check components. Under components, this component is where we are. Let me just collapse this. This is components, right? This is where we are. So you're going to look for nav bar. This nav bar right here. So I'm going to click on the nav bar for it to load. I want to get a sample nav bar. This is how to code faster. What Bootstrap actually does is it helps you to make your site responsive. Bootstrap focus on responsiveness, right? So it's one of the ways that can help you to code faster. So you can basically copy and paste if that is what you call it. So copy and paste, you basically copy many of the things you want already arranged and paste it and just customize it to what you want. So by that way, you're going to code very fast. So these are sample of the nav bar we need. So nav bar, but I'll be looking for the one called nav bar responsive. The responsive section is what I'll be looking for. So I'll scroll down, all right, till I get to the responsiveness, right? All right, this is the responsive behaviors I was talking about. So let's scroll. I will not pick this first one. I need the second one, right? Okay, this second one is what I want because it's going to have a brand name shown on the left and the toggler on the right. I'm going to explain what it means. So I will just copy this. This is the copy button. Click on copy. I'm going to go back to my code. Right here on my code, right? I'm going to go down to the navbar component I created. All right. If you are following along with me, you need to install this snippet. Go to on your VS Code, go to this extension, click on it. You're going to install simple React snippet. This simple React snippet is what I'm using, right? So you're going to see install button like this. You just click on it. It's because I've already installed it. That's why you cannot see it. So this is what I'm using. I'll be using this. It helps you code faster because you'll be using shortcuts to create something like functions and other stuff. So just install it. After you install it, if it did not work, you need to close your VS Code and open it again. Then it's going to work out for you. So once you have installed this, you come back to where we are. So to create, we're going to create a stateless React component. So you're going to use SFC. This is the work of the simple React snippet I asked you to install through the extension. So once you type SFC, it's going to show you these options showing stateless function component, right? Once you click on it, it's going to create this for you very short so that you will not type everything from the beginning. So I'm going to name it navbar. Remember, when you are creating components, right, it must start with capital letter, right? Okay, so it's going to give you this. Inside this return, in React, you cannot start typing maybe paragraph tag, p tag like this, all right? Sorry. P tag like this and still type another one down again, right? If you do something like this, you're going to have some errors, right? React requires that everything you have, right, should be inside like a one component. That means you should be wrapping things inside. So that is why you always see me use div like so to wrap things. Div like so, open and close, div. All right, so inside the div is where I'm going to put everything. For this to show on the browser, right, you definitely have to append this to the app.jsx. That is what we were saying all this story, because the app.jsx is being called in the main.jsx this way, and the main.jsx called this in the index.html. So that's actually the flow. So for this to work, you have to append the navbar component to the app.jsx. So guys, let's give it a try while we do that. So before I do that, I'm just going to give this a class name rather, which will be, I'm going to call it container fluid. This container fluid is a class that comes from Bootstrap, right? So that is why I call it container fluid. So I'm going to nest the navbar component right inside here. So remember the name is navbar. That's the name that we call it, right? / here. But I want to import it. Before you use anything down here, you must import it. We don't need this for now. So I'm removing that. So I'm going to use import. I'm going to call it .. Let's see where we'll get this. So we are entering into the components folder, right? We are currently at app.jsx. So we want to enter inside this folder so we can reach to here. So I'm just going to call components. All right, / the name is navbar.jsx. All right, so this is navbar. This place needs to be navbar, like so. All right, people of God, we can give it a try now and see what our code look like. It's like we're having some errors in this code. So let's check this navbar.jsx and ensure that it's well formatted. We are getting some errors. Okay. So, okay. All right, I'm just having a look at why we are getting these errors. Export, then we are missing something. All right, so let me check. Okay. All right, let me copy paste the container that we copied. All right. All right. So the problem we are having these errors, right, is because of, if you read the error message, let me open the error message in the browser. So you're going to have a look at it. Now, we are having that import component that, okay, JX, we did not spell it correctly, right? We did not, the import was not properly imported. So let's go back to the code and correct it immediately. All right, so it's in the app.jsx. So this is JSX. All right, okay. So let's check it again and see if we are having any errors. So JSX, okay, component, right? The import is not right. I guess so. How we call it. So let me check it out. All right. It's supposed to be .. because we are here. This is where we are. .. component. Okay, component / what again? Navbar. All right. .jsx. All right. So we are having another error. So let me just have a look at it. Then, okay. So this is where we are having error now. Is in the navbar.jsx line 25. So we can go straight and have a look at line 25. All right. So I guess your one will not give you this kind of issues because I just autocomplete just went off. Line 25 is where we are having the challenge. All right, so let's have a look at it. Line 25 is where we have form. Okay, but this form is inside the div. All right. So, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Mm. All right. So let me have this so I can format this. All right. My formatter and autocomplete is having some challenge. I think that's why we are having all this. Okay. So, okay. All right, guys, I'm trying to check what is going wrong here. That is just what I'm trying to find out. Let me check what is going wrong. Just like now. Okay, first off, let's just handle the one I can see now. Remember in React, we are not using anything like class. Everything we are using is class name. So I want to replace all the classes, all the name attribute class with class name. So I'm just going to click one and hold on control on my keyboard while I hit on D to multiply my cursor based on that, then I'm going to add name to it, right? So first off, that's just what I've corrected, the very first thing. Then let me know why this is still giving me errors. All right. All right, guys. Let me close and rerun it again if I'm having that errors. All right. I guess I'm still having the errors. And the error says form input. What's it saying? Okay, the input tag. All right. Corresponding input tags, JSX closing tag. That is basically the problem. The form input tag. In in JSX, when you are using JSX, when you are using form, you need to close it properly. I didn't even look. So this is one of the things you need to know, that you have to read the error message if you don't want to like spend time trying to debug blindly. So this is the input tag this is referring to. I'm just going to go and do add forward slash to it so it will close very well, right? That is one. So we're just still going to look if we have any other one. Let me close it and run it again. Terminate it with Control C, run it again. All right, for now, we're supposed not to have any error again. So let's check it on the browser and have a look at it. All right, guys. So as you can see in the browser, everywhere is good. So we now have the nav bar. All right. So just exactly the way it is here, right, is what we have currently here. So we have successfully set up the nav bar like so. Okay. So the nav bar is set and we have a search right here. So basically, me, I don't want search here, and this is not what we want. This is supposed to be our brand name where we have this nav bar and the home and other stuff. So I will just add up what we want. Remember, this is not what we want. This is just a template. We're going to customize sell products. All right, products. All right, guys. So this is what I did. I just changed the name of this. I think you were seeing it there. I changed the name of this to e-commerce, and as well, okay, as well, I have the home, I have the product. Okay, somebody is asking why am I not using next the JS? Okay, I do use Next.js, but today I'm doing tutorials on React, right? Okay. So this is basically what I've changed, right? In the code right away. Okay. Okay. This is what I've changed. And I don't need this form. Okay. Then I'll leave this to be div rather. Okay. So div like so. Then I'm going to remove this. I'm going to have this cell with us here. I don't want to have it here again. So let me remove this cell product here. I'm going to have it here. All right, this is where we'll have cell products. All right, so guys, let's have a look at what we have done so far on the screen. So as you can see, we have cell product at the side here, and we have the name of the site, e-commerce. We have home and product. All right. So think basically, I don't want this to go furthermore. I'll end the class here. In our next live on Saturday, or maybe if we schedule another day, we'll continue from where we stop. So we'll realize the product. All right, guys, if you have question, make sure you drop your question down there. Okay. The spelling of the navbar.jsx. Okay, thank you. On the import. All right. That was corrected. Okay. So remember to subscribe to our